Hi everyone. I wanted to come on here and do a story time for you. This story time is about it's going to be titled, I think, I Could Have Died or Been Seriously Injured, but Jesus Kept Me. So these are times in my life where something really serious happened and it could have turned out really bad, but Jesus protected me and it didn't turn out really, really bad. So, yeah, and I think that God's people in a whole, like if you're serving God and you have a purpose, I think that Satan tries to kill you basically, like even early on in your childhood so that you won't fulfill your purpose. But Jesus will keep his people. Like if he has a plan for you, that plan is not going to be derailed by any means. Okay, so here are four things that happened to me that could have changed my life forever, could have killed me. Um, so let me start with number one. Now, this one happened when I was maybe around 3 years old. I'll say around 3 years old. Um, I could have been two or three. I was just a little baby. I was little, and I was sitting on my mother's. And like you don't remember things when you're young. That young, you don't really remember. But you remember like something significant like that, like tragedy. You remember that would just sticks out in your head. But anyway, I was sitting on my mom's bed, and her bedroom was off the kitchen, and she was in the kitchen. I could see her from sitting on the bed. I could see her, and she was at the kitchen sink, but she was had her back turned to me, and she was on the telephone, and she was talking to a girlfriend of hers, and I was sitting on the bed, and I had my little legs open, and I had her purse between my legs, and I was like playing in her purse and looking at her stuff, right? And so I picked up matches, and I saw the matches, and I was trying to like strike these matches. And finally, I was successful and I struck the match, and it scared me. And I saw the flame and I dropped it. I dropped it in the purse, the match, and the purse just caught on fire. The stuff in there caught on fire. There was flames coming up, and I'm sitting there, and it's between my legs. I'm sitting there, there's flames coming out of the purse, right? And my mother turned around and she saw the flames coming out of the purse. And she went, oh my God. And she ran over, she grabbed the purse, she picked it up and ran to the kitchen and threw it in the sink, right? And ran water over there. And then she came and got me. And she's on the phone and she goes, oh, this kid, oh my God, this kid had the purse on fire. Oh my God. And so, yeah, so that could have turned out very differently. I could have been burned to that. So I could have almost died by fire. Okay. But God kept me. All right, for a reason. Okay, number two. I was my mother, we built a house. My mom and dad built us a house, and this was around, how old was I? Around, I don't know exactly, maybe like 7, 8, 9, something like in that range. And and my auntie built a house right next door to us. Okay. And so they had dug up the front of her house and to make the yard, the lawn and all that stuff, but it was still a big dig out. It was still a hole, and it was all filled with water. It was like a water fill, right? It was filled with water. And so, but then on the edges of it was like piles of sand all around the edge of it. So me and one of my siblings, we were playing. Might have been my brother Harry. Um, we're playing outside, and we were walking along the top of the sand piles right near that water pit thing, right? We're walking along the sand piles, and I slid. right down into the water. And I'm short now. I'm like 4'11". So I was always short. Even as like a little kid, I was shorter than everybody else. So that it covered my head, and the water covered my head, and I was under there. I remember being under there, and I was like, and I couldn't swim or anything. I was just under there like trying to like tiptoe up and like, and so my mother was across the street over to my grandmother's house, and they were all over there. My aunt, they were all over there talking, and somebody ran over there. It probably was my brother Harry. I can't remember. He ran over there and got somebody. They came and they came in, got it, and they took me up out of the water. And I was okay. But and then they took me over to my grandmother's house, and they wrapped me all up and all the changed me, wrapped me up in towels and all that stuff in a blanket. And I was okay. I was fine. But I could have drowned. Okay? But God kept me. Okay. Number 3. Um This one, I was of my grandmother's. I was in that age range again, like 7, 8, 9, something around there, 10. I was in elementary school, I believe. So, we would stay the night over to my grandmother's house. My sister, my cousin had come down from the city, and she was spending the night too. We were all there, and we were laughing and having fun. And my grandmother's from the old country, right? My grandmother's from Cape Verde Islands, and she didn't speak fluent English. Like she could speak English, but it was broken English, right? And so she speak Portuguese. That's her native language, Portuguese. And so we were all there, and we were sitting around the table, laughing, playing, and we were boiling water for tea, and we were having a good time. We were like going to make some tea, right? And but me and my cousin were the same age. My sister was a little older than us, and we were making tea. And so we were we poured the tea into our teacups. We each had our little teacups, our tea bags, and poured the hot tea, right? And so my cousin, I had my hot tea in my hand, right? And I was standing up and getting ready to go sit down with my hot tea, right? My cousin accidentally backed into me, and the tea that was in my hand spilled over all on top of me, all on my nightgown. I had this little pink nightgown that I used to wear all the time. I loved this little pink nightgown, right? And it fell on top of me, and the nightgown now was stuck to my chest, and it was all wet, and I was burning up. I was burning up, and I was crying, and I was like jumping up and down, and I was like, I ran to my grandmother, and I go, Grandma, 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 Grandma. And my grandmother, my grandmother, right? She thought I was dancing. She thought I was dancing. And she's like, yeah, yes, 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 nice, 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 nice. And I said, no, grandma, no, grandma, grandma, right? And she finally realized that I had spilled water on my hot water, boiling water on my chest. So she ran, she got my mother, my father, and everything, and they came over, and they put me in the car, and they rushed me off to the hospital. They left me in my nightgown. They didn't touch it because it my skin was it was stuck to my skin. And so they rushed me to the emergency room, and I went to the hospital, and I what they had to do is um they cut my nightgown, they took it off of me, and my skin was all peeled off. So I had third-degree burns all over my chest, and like I'll show you guys. But see now, you can't really see it, but you if you look real close, you can see like a little dark grainy right there, but my skin is like smooth. It's all the same texture all the way across. It's smooth. It doesn't feel like it was burned or anything like that. And And it's really not really discolored. You can't really tell unless I'm like pointing it out to you. I forget about it really. And so they they put like some white pasty medicine cream on my chest and wrapped me in bandages. So I had like it was across here and across here and wrapped around my back, all wrapped up, right? So so they say, okay, come back in like a few days and we're gonna check it. Okay. So I was home and we were at my grandmother's house outside, I remember. And they were saying, "Oh, she got burnt and everything." And they were talking in front of me, and it was scaring me so bad. They wouldn't even like thinking like this little kid. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. But they were talking about it, and they were like, "Oh, she might have to get skin graft and all that stuff." And I'm like, "What skin graft, mommy, mommy?" Right? And they're like saying that stuff right in front of me. Like, come on. So I was so afraid, and my mother, no, 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 honey, no, honey, you, no, don't worry. And so, and so, and then, so when we went back to the when we're going back to the doctors to get it checked, I'm thinking about all the skin graft talk, right? And so I'm like, Ma, I don't want to stay in the hospital. Are they going to make me stay in the hospital? And she's like, No, no, you're not going to stay in the hospital. They're just going to check it. You don't have to stay there. But she was just trying to console me. She didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, I love her. She was trying so hard to console me and not make me be afraid. And she had no idea either that I would have to stay. But they said, this is going to get infected. There was pus coming out of it and stuff. I know that's gross, but just giving, telling you what happened. There was pus coming out of it. And, so I had to stay in the hospital. I stayed in the hospital for 1 week. And they would put that medicine on it every single day, right? And so they had no more bandages. I just had like an open robe or whatever, open pajamas top, and they would keep that medicine on it. They every day they come in, keep putting the medicine on it, and I wouldn't eat, right? And I'm like, Ma, I don't want to eat. Um, no, I wouldn't eat. So she was like, she talked to me. She goes, honey, if you want to come home, you got to eat. Because I was so sad and I just wanted to go home. So I didn't ever eat my food or anything that they brought me. But I made a little friend, this little boy. He was next to me in a bed and he was sick and he would like throw up and stuff. So I would bring him over like I would go sit with him and talk to him and we were buddies. And then when he felt like he needed to throw up, I would get the thing really quick, the little pan, and I would give it to him and he would throw up and the nurse would come and they go, oh, you would make a good little nurse like that, right? So that made me feel good. But yeah, he was my friend. And every time they would put this medicine on, right, it would like what would happen with this white cream, it would go on smooth and cream and new. I remember the smell. I remember all of it. I remember everything. And it would like bubble up, bubble up, bubble up, bubble up. And when it bubbled up, it would fall off. Bubble fall, like pieces would fall off and of this cream. And so finally um I do get to go home like in about a week or so and it healed. They would check me and it healed beautifully. And so that again could have went way left and I could have had skin graft, have to have skin. I did not have to have skin graft at all. And that could have went way left where I would have had to get skin graft and it would have been like really horrible and it would have been like my skin would have been like really like mangled. And what was another wonderful thing that helped me and is that they said that if I was a little older, yeah, I must have been around 8 or 9 or something because they said if I had it start developing, if I was a little older and it happened and I started developing, that it would have affected that and stunted my development. And so that didn't happen. So again, it could have went way left. I could have had serious injuries that would have stayed with me my whole life, but God kept me. Okay, number 4. This is when I was about I'm kind of snacking if you don't mind. Like I have vanilla yogurts and I like love vanilla yogurt, so I'm sorry. Okay. So, This is number 4. And what happened was I was going to the city. I was going somewhere. It was like an hour's drive with my brother and his wife, and he was my brother's like way older than me, much older than me. And I was like a little baby. He's at least 10 years older than me, at least. And we were driving in his van, and we were driving to the city, I think Boston, to go visit someone. And we were all in there in the back seat. I was with him, and he had kids. His kids were there, his wife, and him. And so we're driving along the highway, and all of a sudden, the back wheel fell off the van. Yes, the back wheel fell off the van. And so now it's like we're no longer rolling along. We're like screeching down the middle of the highway. It was like, and oh my gosh, the van tilted and it was screeching, and we were able to pull over and stop the car and get out. And when he got out of the car and saw that the wheel had actually fallen off and we were just skidding, like he was like, you know what, guys? We could have rolled over. We could have died just now. We could have no other cars hit us. I mean, it could have went way bad. Like we could have gotten killed that day. But we didn't, because God kept me. He kept all of us that day. But and I believe in that situation that there was an angel there, because that kept us, that held us. You know, I believe that there was an angel that moved our car over and kept our car steady on the road and moved it over. I believe that. And that leads into my other videos that I'm going to do very, very soon. I may do it today. I don't know, but I've already done like 4 videos today because I wanted to get a lot of videos done, because it's just a quiet down day for me and I have nothing else to do, and I've been wanting to do all these videos, so I'm making this my priority today. So yeah, this is my video day. So I have already done 4, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do that video today or not, but that I want to do a video on angels, my experiences with angels. Yes, I've had experiences with angels. So look for that video. And if you can, like, if you don't, mind, just subscribe. I'd love to talk to you and share my stories and encouragement and Bible and prophecy. And so if you subscribe, you get that. And if you hit the notification bell, you will be notified when my other videos come out, because I want to do like more story times and things of that nature. So yeah. So anyway, love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.